Hello, what's your name and what's your game?
I am Rick Stemm of Heroic Games, and our game is called Heroes Must Die.
Now, it's not just a game, it's also a theater production?
Exactly. We are doing what I hope is the world's first video game theater combination project. So it's first a retro RPG that's an homage to and parody of old school RPGs, where you play a hero who gets shanghaied into the villain's army and fight the kind of heroes that you normally see in games. So we have great 16-bit pixel art to reference those games, a really unique combat system, and what I think is a hilarious story, because I'm a playwright before I'm a game designer, which not only makes a good story, but means we can do this play. So I've done interactive theater around the world, and we're bringing a show where we're building giant video game sets, giant puppet monsters to fight, stage hands doing magic and UI, and the audience can interact with the show like a video game.
So, is the theater show like canon as far as the story of the game? Like, are they intertwined?
Yes, the theater show is a direct sequel to the game. You don't need to do both. The game is a standalone story, and the show is a standalone story. But if you play the game and then see the show, you will see how the world, the state of the world that the show is in, is directly as a result of the actions of the game. So it follows the same characters after they've saved the world.
So, is the show currently out? I don't know the term for theater. Like, is it on stage or?
Yeah, I'll give you, it's scheduled. So it's in April is when the show goes up. Its run is in mid-April. If you're in San Antonio, we're producing it here. If not, we're going to stream it. So if you follow the website, we'll let people know how to stream the game. And the game is out for free in beta right now.
Okay. Okay, so that's good. So people can play the game, get the first half of the story, and then see the theater.
Yes. And if they only see one or the other, there's still a full story, but it's kind of extra cool to see both.
So are the developers also the actors?
No. Really the only crossover between the two is myself and the composer. So I wrote and designed and produced the game, and I wrote and produced the show. And my composer, who did music for the game, is also going to do some music for the show. But my artists, are just digital artists. They work on the game. My programmer is just a programmer. But we're casting different people in the show and bringing in, set designers and puppeteers and the kind of things we do to make a live theater show.
So how large is the cast of the play?
Let's see. There are really only 5 main characters, but there's a gigantic ensemble who play all the NPCs, who are all the stagehands who make the effects come to life, who play all the random mooks in fight scenes. So there'll probably be a good 20 people on stage between special effects, extras, and the main characters.
So you were developing both of these in tandem?
Yeah.
What kind of unique challenges came out of trying to manage 2 completely different mediums with a story that interacts with each other?
We failed on the schedule about 3 times. So early on I had to bounce between theaters because I'd estimate a date and then the game would get delayed because it takes longer than we think. So it was really, really difficult to nail the schedules down, really. And we finally got the game late enough and was able to find a theater who knew me as a playwright, so put a little faith in me and said, okay, we're willing to be a little flexible on the time because we know you as a playwright and we know you do good shows.
So if you were to do it all over again, would you make it so the play was the first part of the story?
Yes, most definitely I would. Though I think it'll still be really fun as we did. That added the biggest production challenge. I also learned a lot about rapid prototyping of a game, and we definitely went too far in some directions before realizing it didn't work and having to scrap it. So it was a learning experience as a game developer as well.
So what platforms is it going to be on? Or is it on currently in free beta?
Yep, so right now it's just on Mac and PC, so download for your desktop, and that's a beta. We'll have it polished up for full release in about a month. And then we're going to submit it to App Store, Google Play, and Steam basically whenever that takes. App Store should be quick because we have an iOS build. Android will probably take a while just because of the new thing, and Steam Greenlight, however long that process takes.
Okay, so are you on Greenlight now?
No, we're submitting it shortly because we're still ironing out those last bugs.
Are you trying to get Greenlight started before the play's out there?
Yeah, realistically it probably won't be on Steam before the play is out, but it'll at least be on our website and in the App Store in a full version. So if the worst case scenario, people can download a full game for free before the show.
So even though they're both their own narrative things, do you feel like the play is kind of will it do some sort of genuine promotion of the game?
Absolutely. Yeah, if people like the story in the play, I think they'll be fun to go back and kind of see how it developed. And a lot of our sets and stuff are done we're painting them in 8-bit style, so it looks like a retro video game on stage, and I think it'll get people excited. Our hope, too, is that if people like the idea of the show or they stream it and they want to get it in their town, that a bunch of people in that area can play the game, and we can tour the show over and have it done somewhere else. So our goal is to tour the show around the country and have it in different places, and then hopefully get people to play the game in those places too in preparation.
Have you thought about doing a show with a conference like this? Like maybe on a smaller scale because you'd have to move people around.
It was really cool. 2 or 3 different convention runners talked to us and saying, hey, we'd love for you to bring our show there. And I actually did talk to Jerry about it of Penny Arcade, and he was like, hey, send us the streaming info so we can see it and see if we can find someone in Seattle to put it on. So I was really very appreciative to have the support from them on that, but got to find the people to help us to produce it.
Indeed. So how big's the development team?
It's about 9 people. Let me try and think. There's me as the designer and writer and producer. I have 1 programmer, down from 2. We had a second one who helped us in the beginning, but really 1 programmer, 4 artists, 1 background artist for all the environments, 1 for all the dialogue, portraits of the characters, and 2 to do all of the sprites. And then a composer and a fellow writer and marketer.
So you mentioned it being 16-bit. Why did you choose that over other kind of formats for pixel art?
Purely nostalgia. All of us who are on this team, our favorite games were of the Super Nintendo era. Like, we all love Final Fantasy 4 and 6 and Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana and those games, and that was our childhood for us and what got us into games, so we wanted to pay homage to our favorites.
One thing I noticed playing the game is it's turn-based combat, but you have a time limit on making that turn. When did that kind of come into play?
Yeah, so actually it was even faster than that before. That was our failed prototype. We had initially combined offense and defense modes into one, where you were dodging guys while trying to puzzle together this combo chain of matching the guys, and we realized it was just way too hectic and impossible, so we broke out the offense and defense modes. So we wanted to keep that pacing, because to me pacing is important, so we wanted the game to have that kind of energy and that kind of rhythm, but we also like the puzzle element. So we hope that we solved it in such a way where you get a little bit of the energy and pacing, but also a little bit of strategic puzzling in a nice little marriage.
And to jump back to the play, so you have the same composer for both. Are they trying to like live compose the play? Or
No, it won't be that crazy. We'll do some underscoring for the show, and we'll do some songs for the scene transitions and some background music for some of the action scenes, which will be neat because then it'll make the show more fun to watch, to have some music in the big parts and to have a same thematic tie to the game.
So does it share the soundtrack of the game? Or
yes, we will use some of the same soundtrack in the show, and we'll also make some new ones. The soundtrack is actually available for free right now as well. It's all up on Bandcamp, and there'll be a link on the website.
Okay.
And it's a great soundtrack.
Cool. I imagine it must be a fairly sizable soundtrack, given it's a JRPG and a play.
25 songs, I think, a lot of character themes, different battle themes for different factions, and our composer is great. It's this crazy mix of kind of classic Final Fantasy style fantasy stuff, but also like funk and prog rock, and it's crazy good.
Cool. Well, good luck shipping 2 art projects around the same time.
Thank you. It's been insane. I don't know if I'd do it again, but I'm an artist. You got to try doing something new.
Yeah. And thank you for being on the Question Bus. Do you have any last words?
Get out there and do cool things.
Great.
Even if they're insane and drive you crazy.
I hope you have a great PAX South.
Thanks, man.